Wait, hold on, you guys.
What?
One of these wasn't on.
One of what was
I don't think his was on.
Check.
Number 3.
Check.
Yeah.
Yours wasn't on.
Check.
Okay, start again.
Yo, what's up? Welcome. Take 2.
Yeah, we're here, and I am pumped.
You know what's funny?
And it's recording. We just had a conversation about how
we just had a conversation about when I see your face when we start recording, and you have this look of concern and hesitation, and then you're looking at all the cameras, making sure they're recording, and I was kind of making fun of you about that, and then we're 5 minutes into this conversation, I realized that your mic is not turned on.
My mic wasn't on.
Oh.
Woo! All right, so here we are. It's working now. Now we can go through all. We were in conversation. Neckface is here, by the way. Thanks for coming.
I made it.
You made it, and with a gift.
Art.
We're going through this again.
Yeah,
he gave us a gift, and this is. Explain. We love it, but go ahead.
This is a print that released probably a year ago, maybe not even that, and this one is one that's going to release on Black Friday. But this is the exact print that I did when I first got to art school when I was like 18 years old. And I have, obviously my style has gotten a little, or technique has gotten a little bit better. But I did like an updated version of this, of the Devil Slam dunking, but this is the original that it was inspired from. And now we're going to release it on Black Friday. And yeah, just I think little
Wait,
kid.
Black Friday is come and gone.
Yeah, 25th.
But it's out now.
Yeah, it's out now. But yeah, basically, little kid, little Neck would be psyched that this is finally getting in rotation and getting into the hands of people now. Because when this was made, I didn't know anybody.
Right. So we discussed.
You went to art school, but felt like the school experience wasn't helpful to your career. It was more that you went to New York.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So going to New York was like the best part of going to art school.
So I'm still kind of blown away that you didn't learn anything.
Well, the main thing that I learned was that a lot of kids that are there are not there because they want to do art. They are there to make their parents happy.
Oh. That
they went to it's like when you're in school and you like pick like a class that you think is going to be super easy just to get like a grade.
Yeah, I never went to school, so I've heard about that.
Yeah, so that's a thing that happens. Yeah. And then so all these kids they just weren't like, they weren't down. Like for example, I'd stay after class and I'd like be painting stuff, and I'd be painting like these big old like things, and like all these kids would walk by and they'd be like, what are you doing? Like, what's that for? Like, what class is that for? And I'd be like, it's not for any class.
We're in art school where you should be wanting to do art.
I'm just painting because I like painting.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it. They're like, whoa, weirdo. Like, what do you do? Like,
weirdo.
Yeah, like they
in art school.
Yeah,
painting.
They were like amazed that I was doing like work on my own and not for school.
Right.
I was like, dude, this is like backwards over here.
That blows my mind, but it also, now that I've been around so long and been in so many different, the art expression sort of things, I do find a lot of people, even in the successful section of certain art forms, might not be that hardcore about it. And it always blows my mind because I'm like, the only way that I got good at skateboarding was because I was possessed by it. That's how you get good at it. Fuck whoever is like, they dabble from time to time and become this huge success story. Like, it has to be your whole life. Yep. So whenever I see anybody, like, I go to art school, I pay a lot of money, and I'm like, man, give or take. What the fuck is going on in your life to not be deadly serious about it?
Yeah.
But you were.
Yeah. I was serious about it, and I was like, that's just what I love to do. I always tell people, I'm like, even if I didn't have this whole like career going on, I would still be painting. Just, it's just like the same thing with like, I think with skating, like I'm not the best skater, but I'm still going to be skating for the rest of my life because I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember being like like super young and being like, man, whatever I got to do to keep skating, like that's what I'm going to do. If I got to work this fast food restaurant and like flip burgers or whatever, and then at least I'll be able to skate at night, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like skating and like painting is like, you know, I would still be doing even if none of this was going on.
Right. Flipping burgers. How long were you flipping burgers?
I wasn't flipping burgers, but I said if I had to flip burgers as long as I could skate at night, then I would be down.
But
how'd you get? Go ahead.
You said you were already you started actually selling art, like making money as an artist while in college, and it was like, well, I came to college to figure out how to make a living at it. I'm already making a living at it. How did that start, though? How did you first start to?
All right, so that started with it starts with skating, of course. I was skating outside of the dorm, just doing flat ground, like after class or whatever, like skating outside of the dorm. And then this other kid named Eric came up, and he was like, you know, he was skating too, and he was like, hey, you want to go skate this? And I was like, all right. And we went and skated like under the FDR or something. And then we just would meet up outside of the dorm and like skate. And then he was like, hey, you want to go to Brooklyn to go to this house party? I was like, all right, I've never been to Brooklyn. Let's go. And so I went with this fool. And at that party is where I met like a lot of my friends that I'm still friends with to this day. And those dudes they were a little bit older, maybe like 2 or 3 years older. And they had already like had art shows and stuff. And they're like, hey, we're having an art show over here. Want to be in it? You know? And
wow.
I had already like gone like a year and a half not knowing anyone in New York and just running around writing on everything, like doing my graffiti everywhere. So by the time I met people, they were like, oh, that's you. Like, oh,
doing graffiti as Neckface.
Yeah. They were like, you're him. And then they actually like checked out my work and they were like, oh yeah. Like, you're not just this dude that does this stuff. You also like do paintings and stuff. Yeah, we'll have you in the show. And then like sold my first piece
at that show.
Yeah, probably at that show. But like, you know, then we just started like doing it a lot. And we were like, you know, skating around, handing out flyers, inviting people to the shows and stuff, and just doing like weird stuff to like get people psyched on coming to an art show, like buy a bunch of cigarettes and be like free cigarettes or something, you know, like just like weird shit, you know. And
that's an interesting angle.
Yeah. And then like and then people would show up, and yeah, it just started snowballing. Oh, you have stuff in this show? Hey, you want to be in this one? And then it was like, yeah, I started like making money, being in magazines, and then all of this was happening while I was still in school, and then school basically just started getting in the way. They were like, you got to do this. I'm like, no, I got to do this for this art show where I could actually make money
job, yeah,
and not just do this.
What everyone here is going to school for,
yeah,
to aspire to be in an art show. I'm doing that now, so
yeah.
Right. Yeah, if I was in skateboard school and I was already pro,
yeah,
it'd be pretty hard to show up at school. I'd be like, why don't I teach you a couple of things?
Exactly.
Exactly. When you went to the party and you realized that people had seen your street art, when you were doing all the graffiti and street art, did you think at that time, like, oh, maybe people will see this and associate it with me at some point?
Yeah,
or was it just you just wanted to do it?
Because I just realized, as you were saying, you became successful from graffiti.
Yeah.
That's how you got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Was that, like Tony said, was that your intention, or was it just, I'm a graffiti and I do art?
Yeah, no intention, no plan at all.
Nice.
Just wanted to skate around, write on stuff, and yeah, and everything snowballed from there. And it was just like, you know, it was almost like I got like chosen, like, hey, you want to do this or not?
Yeah.
Like, here's this whole world. Are you ready? And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Tony.
Yes.
You know, the holidays are right around the corner, and our sponsor, MANSCAPED, wants to help everyone deck the halls from their face to their balls.
Jason, yeah. I heard that. That's right. Because the Platinum Package has each product from the best-selling Performance Package Plus, Ultra Premium Body Wash, Ultra Premium 2-in-1 Shampoo and Conditioner, and Ultra Premium Deodorant. It is the best way to smell fresh. From your Santa hat to your candy cane.
You said candy cane. You know, you
don't shoot the messenger.
You know, your presents under the tree are delicate. So, man, Manscaped.
Proprietary.
Thank you. Advanced skin safe. I love how you know I can't read that. Skin safe technology will protect while the 4000K LED light. LED light will help you navigate around the tree like Rudolph on Santa's sleigh. Come on, hurry up.
You're so excited to finish that. You know, you need to avoid another silent night in the bedroom with Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0.
This is the most fun read, but the most terrible read we've ever done. That's a good one.
I am a Manscaped customer.
That's a good one, Tony.
I literally bought.
You're interrupting my reading and acting skills.
I was trying to.
That's a good one, Tony Hawk. These are supposed to be 1 minute.
Okay.
You don't want to smell like a reindeer down there either, which is why Manscaped Platinum Package includes shower products. All of the Manscaped shower gear is sulfate free, vegan, and made to have your skin feeling hydrated and smelling fresh. It's true. I use it. It's in my shower, mate.
There's no way this is going to be a minute.
Just go.
And for the perfect stocking stuffer, add in the brand new Body Buffer, an incredible body scrubber that makes exfoliating easy and a lot cleaner than that old loofah.
Yeah, hey loofahs. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/Hawkwolf.
Ah, yes, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com/Hawkwolf. Manscaped, get your jingle balls ready for the holiday. I thought that was stuck up on me. I thought I was going to say bells. And then I read it and I was like, all right, I'm going to go with it.
You'll be stuffing a lot of stockings. Wink
to Cam. Wink to, you're not supposed to read that part.
I'm winking in the cam.
Oh.
You're saying the wink in the cam. I'm just winking in the cam. Freaking manscaped.com/Hawkwolf.
Go.
Are you a late night person?
It depends. I was, and then since I've lived in LA for 13 years now. I've been like, you know, if I make it past midnight, I'm up until like 2. But if I don't make it past midnight, then.
But back in the graffiti days, you'd be up late as hell, right?
Yeah. Right. Big time. Like
New York nights.
Yeah.
Right, because you get busted if it's not late.
Yeah. So yeah, all night, like in New York, all night, sun coming up, like getting like hot chocolate or coffee or whatever, seeing the sun come up while you're writing on something.
Yeah,
like it's just
that's
like
pretty cool.
You know, it's just that memory to me is like still when I go to New York and do that now, it's like dang, that just brings me back.
One
to
of the better
when I was doing that when I was younger. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, I can relate to that with skateboarding. I feel like being pro and being cool and getting paid and, you know, doing well, and then everyone's happy that you do well. That was awesome. But the best part about skateboarding was skateboarding, laughing with your friends and stuff. And since I've been skateboarding recently, obviously older and not as good and nobody cares, but it's the bit that I cared about the most, I still have that. And that's the best part.
And it'll never go away.
Love skating with old people.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, look at your face. Look at your face. I'm like, man, we're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Still doing this.
'Cause I remember when we were like, what's up? And we looked like little spring chickens, and now we're like, what's up?
Yeah.
You gonna do it? I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
Dude, it blows my mind every time. It's like, and I always tell people, you know, when somebody's like, oh yeah, I used to skate. It's like, all right, cool. Yeah, you used to skate. You were never a skateboarder.
Yeah.
If you say you used to skate, you were never really down.
That is a harsh way to put it, but I do completely understand that. I think I was definitely one of those people, but I didn't skate for over 10 years. So maybe I'm trying to be lighter on those people because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I met a few people recently who are very successful in other fields, and they like, yeah, man, I used to skate, and then I was kind of like, oh yeah, and then when they start talking about their history, they were hardcore.
Yeah.
and stealing wood from construction sites and building mini ramps and stuff. And they still try to, but I do feel like even if they're not able to, they carry those ethos with them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The attitude that this dude, I think I might have told you this, but I was in Zurich a couple weeks ago, and I was at this very highfalutin charity event. Everyone's wearing tuxedos and stuff, and this dude came up to me who there's no way he looked like a skater in any sense. And he's like, yo, man, I skate. I was like, yeah, cool. He's like, yeah, man, he mentioned some people that I might have known, and we like, oh, yeah, I know that guy. Sure, yeah. And he's like, you want to see a clip? I go, sure. And then it shows him approaching this flat bar on the ground, and I'm thinking like, okay, this guy's gonna show me how he board slides. Yeah. Kick flip, backside nose blunt slide.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, did you just do a kick flip, backside nose blunt? Like, he's like, yeah. I go, oh, you really skate?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I guess this is probably, maybe this is a better way to make a living for you, but damn, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that clip, kick flip back nose blunt will hold you over for a while.
Yeah, maybe forever.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
He could still claim that he skates.
What's your jam on the board? What do you flex the hardest?
I skate everything. I mean, I grew up skating just like street, and then we started getting some transition around town, and like my brothers had jump ramps and stuff, and just like we had like a crusty quarter pipe in the backyard.
Yeah.
And
love a good crusty quarter pipe.
Yeah, just everything. It's really hard for me to pinpoint when I started skating, just because my brother skated, and so there was a board around like all the time. Yeah, there wasn't like that moment. A lot of people have that moment where you like picked up the first board, like, oh, this is that's when I started skating. It was like, nah, it was around like all the time. My older brother,
more of a gradual thing.
Yeah,
right on.
And then how were you able to, I know you were having success in New York, but truly weave your worlds together?
So
in terms of doing art for skate projects.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, I know exactly how it happened. I was going to New York, and I was coming back home for like Thanksgiving and like Christmas and stuff like that. And then I'm from a small town, but once I got a taste of like the big city, I was like, I go back to my small town, and I was like, dude, it's too quiet here. Mm-hmm. Like, this is boring. Like, I need to go, like, I was like addicted to the big city. I was like, all right, what's the nearest city? Like San Francisco. So I started like, my mom would drive me to the last station on the BART, and then I would take the BART into the city, and I just have my board and like markers and stuff and paint, and I'd just like be skating all around SF and just be like writing on everything in SF, skating everywhere and just writing on everything. And then SF's so small that eventually like all the skaters there started like noticing my work there too. And there would be like,
but your tags were usually at near skate spots.
Yeah, big time.
There was some dude in LA in the 80s when we were like literally we're shooting Animal Chin, and his tag was Skate 1, and it was at every street spot.
Yeah,
and there were very few at the time that anyone recognized, but that's pretty cool. And I don't know who that guy was, but
yeah,
but it's cool that you got identified.
Yeah, so it was like that. I mean, I was doing a lot of skate spots just because I was skating, obviously, and then like, I mean, most skaters write on shit too, so it was like, there was stuff there already. But yeah, cruising around SF, and then I would make the last BART, which was like at midnight, and then go back home, and then like just dip back into the city back and forth, and then I got like recognized by the Bay Guardian, which is like the LA Weekly. Mm-hmm. It's like the local newspaper. And then I had some pieces in the luggage store, this gallery there, and they found me through that gallery. And then that magazine, that little newspaper was like, hey, we want to do an interview with you and maybe put you on the cover. And then I was like, all right. So I had my mask on because no one knew what I looked like. I would wear a mask. And then I was like skating on the cover. I'm just like skating down the street and with something in the background. And it's the local newspaper that's all around SF. And then like days after it came out, I had heard from like people like, hey, this guy's looking for you. Like the guy who does Thrasher magazine is looking for you.
Okay.
And I was like, who?
This is after college or before?
This is
during college.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean you would come home for the holidays?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
So I was still like 18, maybe going on to 19 or something. But they were like, this guy's looking for you, the guy who does Thrasher magazine. I'm like, who? And they're like, the old guy, Jake Phelps. They're like
guy.
Jake Phelps and Jake.
That man, if he's an old guy, then fuck.
Dude, they were calling him old then, and I think he was probably like 36 or 35 or something at the time. I can't like around, somebody do the math, but like 2004 or something like that. How old was Jake? They were already calling him old, but I was like, dude, I know exactly who that is. I'm like, duh, like whatever. And then I was like, yeah, I'll meet up with this guy. And then I met up with them, and then we all know Jake, just like instantly talking shit, like,
oh yeah,
you know, whatever I had on my board, whatever wheels or some shit, fucking, and then I just, you know, being me and having like four brothers talking shit right back to him, like, oh, you old ass man, fucking, you're barely hanging on or some shit, and it was just like instantly, just like shit talking, and then it's like, hey, how you doing? You know, like that was out of the way, and then it was just like normal, and then he was kind of like, you know, testing me to see like if I think he was like testing me to see if I was a skateboarder. Yeah. And he's just like asking me all this shit.
Sounds like him.
And just saying all this stuff and then he was like, we started hanging out. Every time I'd go to the city, we'd hang out. Like him and Mickey would pick me up. And then eventually he was like, yeah, we might want to put your art on the cover. And I was like, what? I was like, no way. I was like 19, I think. I was like, no way, dude. Like, that's like, you know, I'm a skateboarder first. It's like, there's been many times when I'm like, you know, I'm on deadline and I'm like, have to paint this thing or like do this work. And then somebody will be like, hey, we're going skating. I'm like, I'm gone. Let's go. And I'll just like pick up the board before I like, you know, that's why a lot of work gets turned in late, is because I'm probably out skating. But yeah, Jake was like, we might need to want to put your stuff on the cover. And I was like, no way. And then he's like, I was like, what do you guys want? And he's like, do whatever you want. And I was like, all right. So I started drawing all these like covers. And then I came back, and then he was like, where's the board, dummy? He's like, where's Skateboard magazine? Where's the board? There's no board. Like, he's like, I want a demon skating a board, all this shit. And I was like, you said I could do whatever I want, dude. And so it took like maybe like 4 tries. There was even one cover where it's like, he's like, I want one of your demons skating a human body. Like, Jake was always coming up with these crazy ass ideas. And I did one, and it actually looked pretty sick, but that one didn't make the cut. And then I did the guy doing the nose grind on the coffin. And then he was like, all right, kid, this is it. He's like, I think this is the one. He's like, let's go get the other old man, Fausto. He's like, let's go get him, and if he approves it, then we'll put it on the cover. And I was like, all right, sick. Like, and Jake was like, you know, gave me a pep talk before we like got Fausto out of the office. He's like, don't say anything stupid. He's like, don't be a dick. He's like, if we get it past this fucking old fart, fucking whatever, he's like, then we got this thing in the bag, kid, like whatever. And I was like, he made me extra nervous. Like, I don't get nervous at all, but I was like a little kid. I was like, shit, I better not screw this up. Yeah. So we go to the desk that's in the center. I'm sure you guys have been to the mag, but they have a big old counter in the middle. And Jake puts it on there, and he's like, hey, Fausto, come out here. And like, this kid, whatever, I want to put this on the cover. Yeah. Fausto looks at it, and as he's like looking at it, Jake goes behind Fausto and say this microphone's Fausto's head, and Jake's behind him, and he's just like,
oh my God, dude.
Like, he cannot
and
stop.
I'm like over here, and like Fausto's right there, and Jake's behind him, like doing this or whatever, like fucking around. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, and for me, a skateboarder, it's like the biggest moment like of my life to this day. You know what I mean? And I was like shaking. I was like, oh man, like, don't look at Jake. Don't look at Jake. And then Fausto was like, yeah, just put a black logo on the top and run it. He's like, I like it. Good job.
That's sick.
He's like, good job. Hit me, and went back in his office. And Jake was like, bam, punched me. He's like, we did it. We did it. And I was like, whoa, dude. And it was like, that was like my intro to like, I think my intro to skateboarding officially, like getting that cover.
That's so cool.
Everyone was
Two legends too. Two legends that passed away that you got that moment with. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really like psyched on that. Like,
did you do art on the streets or just your tag?
I would do my tag, but I would also like bring out. I was doing all kinds of stuff. I was bringing out brushes and like taking my time and actually like painting stuff on the wall.
Yeah.
Just experimenting. Like, you know, I didn't even know what like an extension pole really was yet. And I was like getting like a broomstick. I'd duct tape like a paintbrush onto it and just be like,
no way.
Yeah.
How does that work out the first time? Like, how do you make that work when it's... Did you practice at home? Or how do you fucking practice for
no
painting on a pole?
Yeah.
With a pole?
That eventually that became practice to doing these actually big ones.
Oh,
with,
okay.
Like the actual like 10-foot poles and like paint rollers and stuff on there. Like this is like very primitive and doing just like, you know, like seeing stuff on the street. Like how do they do that? And I didn't know nobody, so I was like maybe it's this way. And just duct tape a brush onto a broomstick, and I have like the mop down here, and I'm just like.
Did you ever get busted doing that?
Yeah.
How's that go? Give me the best case scenario and the worst case scenario.
All right, I'll start with worse, which was kind of recently, like the beginning of COVID, like right before everything happened. But I actually got busted writing Jake's name. It was like right when Jake passed away.
Was that at the car wash?
No. I didn't get busted for that. But so I was doing something and the cops just rolled up on me, and nothing bad happened at all. It was just like eventually like the fines and all that stuff. Like getting busted in LA is like a felony charge for vandalism.
Fuck.
Yeah. And
wait, but it's not in New York?
In New York, no. New York's more like a slap on the wrist. But they could make a case on you too. But yeah, LA is like, for me, LA is not worth it because obviously
you can go to fucking jail and ruin your whole career.
Yeah,
you
get a felony charge, and then it usually costs like 10 or 12 grand to get it dropped to a misdemeanor.
Whoa.
Yeah, so get it dropped to a misdemeanor, and then who knows, community service and whatever fines come from that. So
do you think this is going to be a dumb question, but do you think that the authorities sometimes see, because I'm sure, you know, like you got dickheads over here like, man, just some pile of shit versus you, no offense to the tagger guys, but creating real art. Has there ever been a time where they're like, wow, that's actually amazing, I gotta give you a ticket, or maybe I'll let you off because you seem like an actual artist? That never happens, right?
Not yet.
I don't think they're being art critics.
Yeah.
In any sense of the word.
Right.
Yeah,
I just feel like sometimes I see stuff on the wall and I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's different than just like a tag. Like when somebody painted something where I'm like, that looks way better than the wall did. Like,
yeah,
how
true.
can you guys be bummed at that?
Yeah.
But I guess.
Yeah.
Because you're the authorities.
What?
Yeah.
So when you did that newspaper in the Bay Area, you were masked. At what point did you decide not to be masked?
So I would have a mask on all the time, just like if whatever, a magazine or any photos.
And what's the purpose of that? So the cops don't ever...
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah. And then eventually I started being in all these like Baker videos and like in the whatever, hanging out with Spanky every day and being in the background of all his video parts. Mm-hmm. And then people could just put it together, like figure it out. Like, I didn't want like Minor or anyone like blurring my face out every time, like a video.
Right.
Like, who knows how much that costs? You know what I mean? But yeah, eventually people were figuring it out. Like, oh, that's the guy right there. That's him. Like, I know he hangs out with these dudes.
Yeah,
like that's him. And then it just like, there wasn't like a big reveal. Like, hey, this is what I look like. It was like everyone had already like figured it out.
Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing those videos. I remember seeing the pictures or footage of you with the mask on.
Yeah.
And then you painted a room in Riley's house. Yeah. And that's when I first saw you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When Riley had his first house, and everyone stayed there all the time.
Oh, so skate house.
Just full skate house, yeah. And then
you did a giant piece on a wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
In his house, like in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Kids have such a better idea of how to deck out a house. I'm sorry, but
that's what gave me the notion that he might want to paint our door sometime.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it was Riley's idea first. Then Dad took it over.
Of course.
Yeah,
all the cool stuff really is.
That's where you get your TikToks.
All the cool stuff comes from my kids, and I just like...
Tony's cool on TikTok straight up from his daughter. He doesn't know shit about TikTok. Yeah. He has no idea. Every now and then I see a video and I'm like, what are you, fucking TikTok
My daughter has put together my 2 most viral TikToks.
Yeah. Wow, that's sick.
Yeah.
They're impressive. As I watch TikTok and I'm like, you're doing stuff like TikTok, and I know you. You don't know TikTok. I mean,
it's a collab. Come on, it's not all her, but she helps me with the nuances of it, where impressive. I clearly don't know where to put text and stuff. Anyway.
His daughter's a magician. She did a trick for me the other night. Fucking blew my mind, man. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because when he was back in the day and I didn't know him that well, I was like, he might be like an alien or like a vampire because you can't skate like that. It's not right. And then, sure enough, Spawn of Birdman is like, hey, the fucking magic trick. She didn't say fucking.
You did figure it out, right? Or she showed you?
Yeah, but it was the way she did it at first. I don't know. I just got there. I wasn't like paying attention. I was like, his daughter's going to do a trick. It's going to suck, but look surprised. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, how the fuck did you do that? Are you inside my mind? Get out
if you are. Blood.
Pretty good.
It's in the blood.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
So what's next? You just told me you're doing a big thing with eBay.
Oh, so I just did this. I just wrapped up this big eBay campaign I had a dunk come out on Nike, and it's my first official Neckface SB. I had 2.
Saw Kirk Hammett wearing them.
Yeah.
Sick. Motherfucker.
Did you just saw that, or did you send them to him?
Dude, so, all right. Just remember what you asked me before, because I'll tell this story first, the Kirk story, and then I'll tell what were we talking about? Oh, the eBay thing. I'll bring it back. But I'll tell the Kirk thing. I went to I was actually over there because of eBay in Santa Clara at the convention center. They were doing a sneaker con, and I got tickets to the 49er game. So I go to the 49er game, and then it was my first football game. I was like, oh, sick. And I'm a 49er fan. And they come out to Metallica. Obviously. I'm like, damn, that's sick. They came out to Metallica. That's so dope. And it's just like, I felt like I was at a concert because it was so loud.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm basically at a Metallica concert. And as I'm there, I'm like watching the game and stuff, and I feel my phone buzzing and buzzing and buzzing in my pocket. And I'm like, dude, I'm not looking at my phone right now. I just want to like watch the game. And then finally I look at my phone for a second, and then I see this like gray haired dude with the guitar. Like I didn't even click on it. I just saw it small, and I was like, oh, whatever. Put it back in my pocket. Then later on, I finally looked at it, and I was like, all right, who is this dude? And I clicked on it, and it was Kirk from Metallica. And I was like, what?
You mean he was texting you?
No. Everyone, because he posted it on his Instagram.
Oh, I see. That happened at the exact same time you were at the game. Okay.
Yeah, so I was getting hit up, and it's just him with the fucking guitar, like on a knee, with my shoes on, doing some kind of solo. And I was like, no way. That's
awesome.
This is the best trip ever.
He came on my show a long time ago and was like, I got a clothing line called Wolf Knives. And he's like, what's that logo you got on your shirt? It's like, that's my little clothing brand thing. And he's like, I like it, man. Like, I think it's pretty cool. I was like, yeah, thanks. And then after it, the guy that is in charge of the building said, Kirk gave me his address and asked if it would be possible you could send him some Wolf Knife gear. And I was like, dude,
yeah,
really? I never saw a photo, but just knowing that he was...
I'm going to send him the gear and half of the stock to own the company.
I would have.
That's sick, yeah. So I was out there doing this eBay campaign, and so yeah, I had a dunk come out, and it has all my artwork on it, and when we wrapped that up, I had this whole thing with eBay where I was like, you know what? I was like, I know all these like crazy sneakerheads, they love these special boxes. Like when the shoes come in like the shoe's one thing, but then if it comes in like a special box, it's like a more collectible thing,
Okay.
I was like, I know I could make a cool ass box. So I made these boxes out of metal, and I got them like chrome plated, and I cut them with like a plasma torch.
They look dangerous.
They are
truly dangerous.
Yeah, they are pretty dangerous. But yeah,
yeah.
And then my shoes go in there, and then I was like, you know, I told my friend Hunter, who works at eBay actually, and I told him, I was like, hey, I'm making these boxes. I was like, no matter what, like, I was like, you guys want to like team up and do something, and then they were like, yeah. And I was like, well, I know you guys work with the skate park project too. So we just tied it all in together, and we were like, I'm going to make these boxes. We're going to auction them off. Whatever money gets raised goes to the skate park project. And then from there, we go into skatable sculptures.
Yep.
That I've been working on for 10 years.
Yeah, super cool.
Skatable sculptures?
Yeah. So firstly, thank you for that. Thank you for, you know, raising the money and raising awareness. And it was a few months ago, I just started getting messages from this guy with the most outlandish skate obstacle designs.
Oh shit!
They were insane. Like, they're amazing. They're true. You know, it's a true like Euro gap, or it's a real quarter pipe.
Totally doable.
But with his creatures all formed in it, and around it. And I was like, this is awesome. This would be a great idea for a city that would be willing to go that direction with a skate park, because then it would be like a destination art skate park.
Yeah, got it.
And it's just tricky for us as a foundation to focus so much on fundraising for one project. Do you know what I mean? We have to kind of spread it evenly, so it makes it a little tricky for us, but we're still trying to figure it out. And then he raised funds specifically to build those obstacles.
Oh, shit.
At one of our parks.
And we'll continue to raise
Yeah.
and keep going.
Make skateboarding cool.
Yeah.
Paying back.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I want kids, because if you see the Nike SB commercial that we did, that's the first time anyone's ever seen the skatable sculptures. I should just show you it. I'll show it to you.
It's not posted anywhere?
It's all over on
Yeah, he made one. I don't know what was the material.
It was just like movie prop. It wasn't concrete. Check it out.
Oh, I did see it. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, that is a game changer.
That was
that
great.
at a skate park is
Yeah.
It's funny because a few parks have done that. There's that one in Oregon with the dinosaur.
Yep.
And a few parks have these little features, but no one's ever leaned into it like that.
Yeah.
It's always just some one little thing.
Placed.
And then, just placed in the middle. Sometimes you can't even skate it or get to it. But what he's doing is like true obstacles. So we're still very much trying to make that happen.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool thing. Normal people that don't skate maybe wouldn't hate the skate park as much as well.
Yeah. And
they do that.
I think it's just like I know it's just like, because I'm a skateboarder and an artist, you know, like when I go to these skate parks, this is what I see. Like I see, you know, those boring quarter pipes or hips or whatever. I see my dudes there. Yeah. I'm like, dude, that could be like, that looks like the beginning of someone's like neck or spine or something. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, what if the head was attached right there?
I like the one that he has one it's a capsule. You know, like the end of a skate park capsule, but it's actually a big creature's mouth with teeth coming in.
Sick. Man, do you think Street League or something, like having a contest where you had all that stuff?
Yeah, but it would be a disservice that would be gone tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know, it should be something everyone can enjoy on a public level. So I'm still advocating for it, still pushing for it, and we're getting there. And especially if he's raising funds specifically for that.
Yeah, we got some other stuff in the works too. But yeah, these ones we're trying to get into the public parks. And basically, like, when I rolled up to this thing, when I got to this obstacle and it was finally made, like from the sketch that I did 10 years ago, and going in there and seeing this thing made, I was just like, whoa. Like, and if my mind was blown like that, like I could imagine like a little kid getting dropped off at the skate park for the first time. Yeah. Go skate that thing, that scary monster thing. You can skate that. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty sweet.
It's going to blow some minds and hopefully like get kids like inspired to like, you know, push skateboarding as far creatively as possible. You know what I mean? Being like, oh, it doesn't have to all just look like this. It could be, this thing.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to get kids psyched, because that's what happened to me when I got to these skate parks and see these skate parks with weird little obstacles. Like, whoa, how did they know that we like to skate that? I didn't know who built the parks or anything. Like when I was little, I'd be like, whoa, they know that we like to skate that and
oh yeah,
there, you know what I mean? I was blown away. I was like, man, this is so cool that the city knows that we want to skate.
Those are the years where it was sort of the reckoning of skate park design, because before that, most of the parks were designed by sidewalk contractors.
Yeah.
And they would look at pictures of parks and try to mimic what they saw, but it was never functional, it was never good.
Yeah.
And when as you started seeing those sort of obstacles, that was when we started, through our foundation, but also just other advocates, were finally getting the skaters involved in the design process.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there were jersey barriers, and there was a China Bank action, stuff like that started coming in, and that's, I think you got in on the tail end of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there were some bad parks built before that.
I remember back in the day that skate parks were the thing that we were riding was not built for skateboarding, and we were like, yes, it is.
Yeah. There
was a thing in Australia that I used to skate all the time, and people always used to question why I would go there all the time, because it was a long way away from anything. But it's called Nunawading. It's gone for sure. But it was just a full pipe, concrete full pipe, and they'd cut the roof off it. And then it was to vert halfway, and then they cut another one that was over vert, and then it had another one next to it. So it was there was a little section.
Was a true half pipe.
Yeah. But it was they cut it down
section.
little, and there was a small section, then there was a half pipe section, then over vert, then half pipe, then over vert again. And the oververt bit was, I think Lance Mountain came way back in the Bones Brigade when they first came to Australia, and Lance grinded it. And it was just this big, in Australia, Lance Mountain grinded Nunawading, and everyone was like, that's fucking impossible. How the fuck do you do that? And then 10 years later, because every time I'd go to Australia, I would still go skate that thing. I just liked it. I don't know why, but it was just fun to ride. I did a frontside pivot on the oververt bit, and it was only 10 people that knew or cared. Was like, holy shit, that's one up on whatever Lance did 10 years ago, because nobody went there to beat him. Nobody wanted to skate it. But I remember just the guy that filmed it and myself, we knew. Yeah. So when I did that, we were like I put it at the end of my skate part. I don't think anybody thought it was the banger of the part, but it was to me. It was that's how I end my video part. Frontside pivot on the oververt was a big deal. But that park was, if that was there still, I would still go ride it. And it is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I love that thing.
But it's going to be sick to see what the challenges are on his obstacles.
Yeah.
Where it's
because
you did that on the wing.
Right?
You did that on the,
I got to see it happen right in front of my face, and I was blown away. It was sick. It was we had little Joe Campos skating it. We had Ashad, Grant, Jake Anderson, and all these dudes were doing crazy shit on it. It was I forget who blunt stalled. I think maybe Jake blunt stalled the nose of that creature.
Oh, yeah.
Right on the nose. It's just boom, back into the hip. And then Jack O'Grady, he did a Wally off of the wrist.
Yeah.
Went right off of the wrist. That was super sick. And it was just it was cool. And then he also did nose blunt right down his the middle of the chest of the thing. So it was I don't know. We might get a whole new vocabulary when people start skating these things and be oh, you did the whatever down the chest or something.
It'd be funny that I don't know if you want to do that, but to make them all standard size where they're all exactly the same, so you know that. It could be. I think it'd be more fun to make them custom. But let's say that you have the exact same obstacle in New York that you do in Arizona, and so people can be like, "What? He did that? I could do it here."
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That works.
I'm riffing.
Yeah.
That's what skateboarders do. They riff. So if you put an obstacle there, and then it's the same thing as somewhere else, it's like the hubba ledge. People started making hubbas in contests and stuff so that you could say that I did this on the hubba ledge, even though it's not that ledge.
Yeah.
But it counted.
Yeah.
You talking about that whatever, that full pipe?
Oh, yeah, not a warning.
It reminded me that when we did the end, the video, the ramp that was in the bull ring, we donated that to the city of Tijuana.
Yeah.
And
wait, they set it up as that ramp?
So it was, no, but this is pretty funny because it kind of went south. But that ramp was, I think it was 36 feet wide, maybe a little bit wider. And it was 12-foot transition with 2 feet of vert, which is bigger than anything.
Yeah.
And that's why I could go high on it because I go down that big ass rolling.
Oh, wow.
And so it was by far the biggest vert ramp that had ever been built.
Yeah.
At that time, in 1997, 98. So we donated to Tijuana, and they wanted to cut it down because it's too big. So they cut down 2 sections of it. So one section was maybe like a 6 foot high.
Yeah.
But 6 foot with a 12-foot transition. So 6 foot high is still only like this steep. And then the one up from it was like maybe like 8 or 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
But was still a gigantic transition. So that one's only like this steep.
Yeah.
And then the last part is the ramp.
How much of it?
12 feet.
Sick.
It's not sick. I disagree.
So dangerous.
Like, yeah.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, you get speed from the big part coming down. You go down the ramp to the small part, you're going to fly off.
Yeah,
but also 12 feet wide only is just not safe at all. Because you have to go really fast to ride a ramp like that. Anyway, I went to Tijuana to go like to a thing where they wanted to thank me for it and have a demo and whatever. And it was just me.
Doing a demo on it cut like that.
Yeah.
Did you just ride the 12 foot? Or
I rode everything a little bit for maybe like 20 minutes and then I was out.
Because it's kind of dog shit now.
It wasn't great, but they loved it. Like they loved the small part. I don't think so. There's no way.
Right,
I mean, that thing was not built to last anyway.
Yeah.
But they were stoked to have it anyway. It was so enough about me.
A giant mini ramp with 12-foot transitions.
Giant mini ramp, yeah.
No thanks.
I mean, but if you found that in the wild.
Yeah, that's different. Isn't it weird how that's different?
Yeah.
If it just, you didn't know it existed and you found it, or you're riding the shit out of it.
Oh
yeah.
Big time, dude.
Yeah. Like you discovered it.
Yeah, if you walked around like some bushes and saw that thing,
it's
you'd
different.
be like, dude, this is the sickest thing ever made.
I know, right?
I love that. I love that feeling of like finding something that, you know, I know people have skated before, but like, you know, like going to Baldy, like doing that whole mission and like going in there and stuff, and you see
because if someone built Baldy, you'd be like, no, dude, I'm not skating that thing.
You see it over there, you see the the pit, and you're like, whoa, this is sick. This is some ancient like crust that's
I know, right?
The skate gods brought down and left it there for us to like find, and it's like, you know, like tying it all in, like imagine like going and finding a skate park with one of my sculptures in it. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, whoa. You know, like seeing this big old dude like this and you can skate his wings.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Especially if you're good.
We were going to do a project a while ago with a company I was working with, and then they chose not to because of liability, I think. But we were going to do, it was around the same time I was doing a lot of stuff on Twitter, like hiding skateboards or, you know, doing a big, we'd call it a big Twitter hunt with a bunch of gear, but we were going to just drop mini ramps in cities in like unused locations. And so they would build a mini ramp, install it in the middle of the night, some random place, and be like, hey, yo, Kansas City, you got a mini ramp now.
Go find it.
It was going to be sick.
It didn't happen?
No, they were worried. They were worried
awesome.
they're going to be liable for it.
It does sound like a lot of work.
But they presented it to me, and I was like, let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Let's do it. And then it just fell apart. Still want to do it, though. But we could, you know, maybe.
Yeah.
Renegade.
It does sound cool.
Neckface.
Hey,
mini.
kids, we've got a mini ramp. I would, in my town.
Renegade Neckface Mini. That's my pitch.
Dude,
I mean, beyond just the skate park obstacles.
I got one drawn out. I got one.
He's ready to go.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That would be sick. I'm down for that.
So what, are you still doing graphics for skateboards sometimes?
Yeah. I am doing. I just had some come out with Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I did a Alyssa board and I did a Jacopo board, and still doing Baker boards. And what else do I got going on? The whole dunk coming out took over a bunch of months.
Yeah.
Of this year, so I had to do.
How did the Nike connection happen?
Oh, so that happened through actually my friend Hunter, who's the guy who's at eBay now.
Oh wow!
So he used to work at. He started Xavier. You remember Xavier? Mm-hmm. So he started Xavier, and that turned into Nike SB. And I had met him at some event, but we both were like, kind of bonded just. Obviously through skateboarding, but basically like he's from San Jose and I was like from nearby. And yeah, we just became friends, and he would send me like, this is like when the dunk shoe was going crazy, and he was sending me all these like gnarly, like everybody, like I'd be skating in these shoes and people, hey, you could get this much money from these or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. How about this? And I scrape them on the ground or something. You know, I was skating all these shoes, but yeah. And then that relationship just kept going for years, and then I did Tampa Pro. I did like all the work at Tampa Pro, and I did the art for the SB Chronicles video, and then I just been working with Nike forever since, and then they finally were like, hey, we want to give you your own shoe. Like, what do you have? Like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I already got an idea. Here you go. And they were like, oh, dude, that would be sick. And
how many did it make?
How many pairs?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, wow.
I just realized how cool I am because I'm sitting next to him. I have a 13-year-old son that introduced me to dunk. I don't know dunks. I don't know nothing about it. I need some dunks. I'm like, what is that? He's like, they're shoes. I'm like, yeah, I'll get you some shoes. And then they tell me how much they are, and I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Just get you these? you failed to mention that these are like kind of ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But, you know, every now and then because of my skateboarding, he skates, but I'm a vert guy and I'm older, so I'm not that cool, and I'm his father.
Yep.
But every now and then it just brushes up against something where he's like, you know, this one right now, I can be like, hey, man, you know this guy? I fucking heard about the dunks. He'd be like, what? What did he say? What did he look like? No, I talked about the box. Like, I know my son is so into this that I'm not doing him a service right now by not knowing the ins and outs of the box and why you made it and all the other things, because some people really love those shoes.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And
that is a hot item right now for 13-year-old boys.
But was yours, I mean, obviously there's a limited run, but not necessarily a limited amount, or that they haven't
I think they made a certain amount. I don't even know.
But they must be a higher price point.
I think they were like $120.
Huh.
But
it's not outrageous, right?
Yeah, no, it was presented
retail
to me a lot more than that. But
yeah.
okay,
you're getting
resale stuff.
There's the guys that go in there and buy them all, and then they
then they go. Yeah, I mean that's the whole Supreme vibe.
Throw them on eBay.
Okay.
eBay.com.
Someone told me during all the chaos in LA, BLM protests and storefronts getting smashed, that you were in front of Supreme.
Yeah, I was.
Like
doing what?
I was like guarding the store.
Guarding the Supreme store.
Yeah. And I was like, I went there just to see what was going on, and I was on my little like scooter. I got this Honda Ruckus, and I posted up out in front of the store, and I was like, whoa, it's starting to get crazy. And it started getting crazy, and then people were like coming up with like rocks and bricks and stuff and spray paint, trying to like, you know, go into the store.
Yeah.
And then in my head, I'm just like, dude, all my friends work here. This is like where my friends work.
Yeah.
You know, and I skate this bowl every day. I have a bowl in there. I'm like, nah, you're not going to mess with my home pretty much. Like, I skate here every day. Like, you guys are going to ruin my spot. So I was just like, people would come up and like, hey, no. Like, dude, they have bricks in their hand. I'm like, no. And they're like, oh. It wasn't even like...
They would just move on.
Yeah, it wasn't no...
It worked.
Yeah, there wasn't no, like, pushing them away or anything. I was like, hey, no. I was like... They were like, okay. Just keep going.
On to the next one.
Yeah, on to the next one that doesn't have someone that cares about the store.
I protected the store, and
nice.
It's still there to this day.
Man, they owe you big time. That was gonna get.
But I get it. Like that's you know, that's your skate park, skate shop, home away from home. I totally would get that.
Yeah, I like skate. I skate that bowl. Like when I lived over there, I was skating it every day.
Yeah.
I've skated that.
Did they finish their new one?
Yeah, the new one's done. The new one is done.
God,
and
that's the kind of news I just choose to ignore.
It's back in.
Because I
There's a
can't
new one in
skate.
there.
There's a new one on Sunset Boulevard.
Oh shit!
They took over the Tower Record store.
Yeah,
No way.
it's gonna be sick.
It's not ready yet.
massive.
It's. I think it's done, almost done. They're opening it. I don't know, next year or something. Next year's around the
I
corner.
just saw their PIL collab. I was
Yeah.
pretty excited.
Yeah.
A what?
PIL, you know the band PIL?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Lydon.
Oh, okay. There's a shoe. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. We had a lengthy John Lydon discussion recently, so
Okay.
yeah, it would be fresh in your mind.
They got a new bowl in there. So they got, I think it's the biggest bowl.
It's bigger.
Yeah. It's,
Good.
It's the biggest bowl out of all of them. All the shops that have a bowl, I think.
Sick.
Pretty sure.
I'll look forward to being able to skate again
Yeah.
and going there.
If
I look
anything,
forward to
go
going
get
there
that.
and eating shit. Because that's what's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
that too.
Do you surf?
No.
Never tried.
I have tried.
Not good.
I got up. I stood up on a board once in Mexico, and then I was like, "All right, check it off the list. Done."
Didn't make you want to go back?
Nah, I used to be like, man, I had mixed feelings about surfing just because I didn't know, and then I got out there and like paddled out. I was like, dang, I gotta go all the way over there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's the sweet spot over there. All right, go all the way over there. Okay, I'll get up on this thing, no problem. It's just water, whatever. Nope, got smoked, got pushed all the way to the front. I was like, dang, I gotta go all the way back out there.
Yeah.
And then I did that like 10 times before I even got up on my first wave, and I was like, dude, my arms were like so sore. I was like, no wonder all those dudes are so buff.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, respect. Never
cool.
talk smack on it again.
Yeah.
We're going on a surf adventure tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm similar to your level of surfing, so that's kind of how I.
You going to
Surfing.
wave pool? The wave pool?
I've never been in a wave pool before, and
Is that where you're going?
yeah, and that is supposedly easier, and then you also do not have to face duck diving and going under big waves or getting caught in a set or landing on a reef. All the things that I find to be tedious, to say the least.
Tedious.
I'm like, dude, I love standing up and getting free rides, but not for this amount of strife. You know, like it really brings. When you can't paddle good, you get so burnt out, and if you burn out, then you see a big one coming, you're like,
Oh yeah, that is hard.
Yeah,
That is one thing about surfing. I feel that where you finally get outside and immediately a wave comes your way, and you're like, I don't know if I can make it into that wave.
yeah,
It's too hard.
yeah, and then washed all the way
Yeah.
back.
So
to
you
shore.
don't. That doesn't happen in the wave pools.
Wait, that does too.
No, not like that.
Okay.
No.
See, I was getting
The wave that you and I will be surfing will be a much easier paddle.
Right. Hey, check out how stupid Tony Hawk is, you guys. In case you were wondering why he hangs out with me.
Oh my god.
He's got a broken leg. It's not attached to the bone. And I realized this because we're going on a surfing trip. So I text him because I thought, wait a minute, you're probably not going to surf now. I don't know if I want to go if you're not going to surf. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm going to surf. I'm just going to longboard instead. And I was like, man, what a slightly irresponsible thing to say. And then 5 seconds later, he texts me and goes, we could do tandem.
That would be
And
for
I'm-
the show.
And I was like, you're an idiot. But it all makes sense now. Now I know why you want to hang out with me, because you're not. I mean, you got big words every now and then, but you're as dumb as hell sometimes, dude. Because that is some stupid
I'm just trying to
shit.
keep the show going,
There
Jason.
you are.
Patreon, let's go.
Oh, man.
That's the bonus content. You and I trying to tandem.
Patreon should be more expensive, because that is a. I'm nervous. You gonna wear a brace or something?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Stay away from me.
Oh my god. What do you mean stay away from me? I'm jumping on your board. We're going tandem.
Oh, I'm so terrified for you.
You're going to get up and be like, dude, this is sick. And then Tony's coming right behind you.
He's gonna
Just
ruin it.
Jump right
Yeah,
on.
he's gonna ruin everything. Yeah. Gonna ruin the whole fucking experience.
I'll pay. I'll sign in the Patreon for that.
Some stupid cripple.
There, we got a new subscriber. Thank you very much.
I'm logging on, dude.
Oh no.
Wow. So what are you looking forward to? What's next?
These skatable sculptures.
Yep. There we go.
I cleared out. I did all my homework for this year, and next year my main focus is figuring out these skatable sculptures and getting them in whatever park allows them to be.
Well, I very much want them to be in public parks, not something that's private.
Yeah. Because I think as soon as the world sees that first one outdoors in a park, you know, it's going to go crazy and people are going to be like, I want that at my park.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to be available to do that.
Do you think there's one that you could put on a vert ramp?
Yep.
Good answer.
I got that. We kind of the first version of the skatable
Did you see the demon he put in the channel?
Was the dude here.
No.
You didn't see that?
When was that?
You didn't get the text?
Like a year and a half ago, maybe?
No, I did not.
He put a full size demon in the channel, like with smoke, with eyes that move.
No, I did not see that, dude. No, I would.
But what he also did was he put the horns, but and probably didn't really take this into consideration, but the horns go beyond the channel, kind of.
Yeah.
And you know how when you grind the channel, you ollie.
Oh man, yeah, that's dangerous.
So when you.
It looks awesome.
The horns.
But do you see the horns?
Awesome. Yeah.
So usually when we grind the channel, we ollie halfway into the channel, right?
Yeah.
So those horns made it so that we had to start the grind legitimately before the channel.
And legitimately go past the other horn.
It required so much more speed and so much more effort that after like a half hour of skating that, I was like, I've done everything I can do. I can't pump anymore to try to make it over that thing.
We got legit airs and grinds out of that thing.
That's awesome.
It was fun, yeah. But I mean,
what's that made of?
So that was made out of foam.
Oh, okay.
But
so you could land on it.
Yeah. Like we had
you don't want to land on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We built like a big frame for it, but
I still have it.
Yeah. If that thing could be
where do you store that?
It's just there's all kinds of shit in here.
So awesome. That's just stored somewhere.
Yeah.
Dude,
Fuck
so
yeah.
Funny story about that is I built this thing. We brought it over here in like a huge truck and installed it, and it fit perfectly. And then in my head, I was like, I don't know what to do with this thing after we shoot this pilot. I don't know what to do with it. And then I was like, well, we're close to TJ. I was like, we could take it there and just light it on fire. And film it. And at least we'll get some good footage or something. And then Tony was like, hey, what are you doing with that? Like, you want to leave it here? Or can I have it? I was like, yes.
You knew you were going to put it there.
Well, I want to put it maybe on the wall, like a blank wall.
Okay.
Not on the ramp.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we could have a demon. I just wouldn't want it in the channel because it would get destroyed.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that was kind of the first, like my first stab at doing like skatable, interactive skatable.
And that was for the pilot.
Things. Yeah.
He did a pilot for a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it didn't get picked up?
Not yet. Hopefully,
this TV people, let's go.
Podcast will get it picked
Yeah,
up.
no,
That's it. What was it? Wait, what was the name of the
pilot?
Yeah,
Wicked Workshop.
Wicked Workshop. Yeah,
Neckface
it's funny.
Wicked Workshop.
Yeah,
it's funny. He's got a little mascot. That's one of his creatures.
What?
That he like is like a
wait, and he talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's talking for him?
It's me.
Yeah, you fucked up. That's awesome.
It's me, yeah. So I'm the only reason I'm talking is because we didn't have a voice for him yet. So I'm his voice until further notice. But yeah, I'm like talking.
It's good though. Your voice is good.
Yeah,
like it works.
If I could do it, I'm down. Like I don't care. Like he was actually in the SB commercial. Like we put him in there too. And yeah, it's just like me talking to this dude. And,
yeah.
And then and yeah, we filmed this whole pilot here, our whole segment here where I'm like sculpting this creature out of clay on this like little like kind of like fingerboard type thing. And then that creature, he's hung over from a previous skit that we had in the show, and he throws up on it, and then the throw up is like magical throw up, and it actually it starts bubbling and stuff, and then it makes this thing into a real obstacle, and then we're in here, And Tony skating.
That is a great show. I would watch that show.
It's good. It's good.
Skating vomit is badass.
Yeah. And then what's the dude's name? The creature? Not the demon, but your
Buzzy.
Buzzy tries to drop in.
And he gets smoked.
He gets smoked.
Straight to the bottom and his eyeball pops out.
How is this not picked up yet?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That is high level entertainment.
Yeah.
Man, I want to watch Buzzy eat shit.
I was honored to be part of it. It was fun.
That is cool.
Yeah, so we got
Buzzy.
We got like 5 episodes ready to go. And it's like basically my whole thing is I just want to get like all my friends involved like in like, you know, TV basically.
Yeah.
But for something cool instead of just like doing like a Campbell soup commercial.
Yeah.
Which a lot of my friends do. Just like weird odd jobs, you know?
Yeah.
We hired like some people that I know that are in showbiz, like to do like, you know, come up with the vomit or like do these practical effects, and everyone that we had on the set, where they're like, dude, this is why I went to film school. I want to do like cool shit like this. You know what I mean? I'm stuck doing this whatever commercial over here for a cell phone or something. Like I want to do
like very cool but way more edgy Pee-wee vibes.
Yeah.
It's so weird that people of the industry love doing it and are super excited to be a part of it, but then somehow Big Boss is like, no, not feeling it. Like, seems like if everybody loves it.
That's the world of pitching pilots,
right?
Though. It's such a...
It doesn't make sense how they get...
It's so discouraging left and right, but then sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that you made it, because a lot of people will be pitching the pilot to get someone to pay for it, making it, and then that'll go sideways, even if they get the money. But the fact that you just were like, no, I'm making it. Yeah. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's the skateboard mentality, I think. But
that's
also, it was like I had like I was actually like saving up my own money to do this skate park, these skatable sculpture ideas, trying to figure it out, and just like, dude, I might have to fund this myself. And so I was like putting money to the side and like, dude, I'll do it myself. That's how much I want to like see it happen. And then I started getting the idea of doing like a pilot, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna, you know, take the money from that I was trying to save up for the skate park stuff and put it into this pilot, and we just went for it and did it and made it. And yeah, I was like, same thing, like I always go into like projects like this, I'm like, as long as I'm like psyched on it and I'm happy with the product, then if it gets picked up or not, cool, but I'm like happy with myself that I did it.
That would mean a lot, being an artist, to do it your way.
Yeah.
Which in television is very difficult.
Yeah.
It seems like when you have a really good idea, somebody in TV goes, that's a really good idea, let me fuck with it.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you liked my idea, now it's your shitty idea.
Yeah.
That seems like that's kind of...
But that's the best way to go about it, is making it. That's what Sam did with the doc he did on me. He just made it. He was trying to wait for someone to buy it or fund it, and he's just like, nah, we're just going to do it.
But he knew that it was worth it.
What's that?
He was...
He didn't know.
But he believed in it, just like he believed
in
his show.
absolutely. But the same thing. Like, he went pitching it and didn't get any interest.
All right.
So he's like, nah, all right, I'll do it. But I still think there's potential, a lot of potential with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's going to be sick.
And the good thing is that I have other stuff going on. I see a lot of people out there who are like, dude, if my show doesn't get picked up, I'm screwed. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to make rent or whatever, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm happy that I'm not in that situation, and I just did it because I love it, and I want to see it happen and see something cool on the air and get all my friends involved. We'll get you on the next one.
Fuck yeah. If you need someone to get punched in the face, that's pretty much all I'm good for, I found out.
Yeah, we got that. We got that for sure. Yeah. But yeah, just want to, just made it and just hyped on making it. You know, that's an art piece. Art piece in itself is that thing.
I hope it fucking happens, because I would love to watch that. That sounds cool. What's up, TV execs? Yeah,
let's go.
I just realized, don't listen to me. I'm a guy that has an infected eye from headbutting a fucking cake. You know that? My eye is still sore from headbutting the cake on the Patreon show. I actually had to FaceTime Dr. Drew Pensky because I was like, do I have to go to hospital? Because it was getting really swollen. Now it's starting to go down a little bit, but it was a week ago.
Did you get antibiotics for it?
No.
Or like you can get eye drops that are antibiotics.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
If you lose your eye from a cake,
it's not punk rock. Is it?
Borderline.
People can call me
I would
cake
feel
face.
well. Then I would feel partly responsible too.
Yeah, I would totally blame you for sure. Even though I went and bought the cakes and it was my idea to headbutt them. It was for the show.
Was entertaining though.
Yeah,
it was entertaining. Hey, Neck, thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks for making the drive.
Thanks for having me.
The door is yours until whenever you want to do it. We'll save it.
Yeah, I'll come back and definitely take my time and get some stuff on the go.
Fuck yeah.
I appreciate it.
Like and describe, check out the Patreon show. Lots of content on there, like Tony being the dumbest person he's ever been, trying to get on a surfboard with somebody who can't surf, who's 210 pounds. Smart guy. You can check that out, patreon.com/Hawk versus Wolf.
And
Nasty Neckface.
Nasty Neckface. See ya.